Good evening. This is the video newsletter for buysellshort.com for Tuesday, April 28th. Pretty choppy market today. We did end in the red after being up nicely mid-morning. Uh, Big sell-off early in the day. The bank stress test was quotation marks leaked. They said that Bank of America and Citigroup are going to need more cash. Whoa, there's a surprise. Didn't know they were going to need more cash. The only people who actually saw that as a surprise are people who have their heads in the sand. Anyway, it was an excuse for them to sell the market, but volume was again very, very low today. We had a golden cross yesterday, but we've only got a 100-point pop out of it so far. We average about 200 points, so let's see what happens tomorrow if we get a snapback pop on the market. If we flip over to the daily chart, we're still within our bearish rising wedge from the March lows. We still continue to hold above the 20-day exponential. That's at 7,900. So that is the area we'll be watching pretty closely over the next couple of days. If we do get a break below 7,900 this time around, we're probably looking at a retest of the 50-day moving average in the 7,500s. We've got the Fed making their announcement tomorrow. We've also got GDP, the early GDP indicator tomorrow. So those will be the market movers, and any sort of positive spin they can put on that will break us out of this current trend. Volume has been continuing to drop. RSI is starting to flatline. ADX is flatlining. So, we could quite possibly just stick in a trading range over the next couple of weeks and just bounce back and forth in a pretty tight range, which is not such a bad thing because that will get our small cap plays running. HUI, we had a big run in the gold stocks that we got in and called last week. Gold down pretty sharply today despite a drop in the dollar, and you had some analysts coming out bashing gold, saying demand wasn't there, blah, blah, blah. Given that gold was up 10% last week, a little retrace was to be expected. Let's jump into our stock plays. ASTM popped 25% today on pretty heavy volume. There was no news flow out there, but these stem cell stocks have just been treading water over the last 2 months, waiting for an excuse to run, and that time might be here. RSI broke up above 50 today. All the indicators look pretty good on ASTM, so let's see if we get some follow through on this tomorrow. If not, I would look to start accumulating ASTM under 35 cents. Target again is a move to 50 cents. As such, also STEM, very, very nice chart set up here as well. We've got a nice triangle here. Been pinching over the last couple of days. Stock was able to close above its 50-day moving average for the first time since the breakdown. RSI peaked over 50. We're about to break a downtrend line in stochastics, and as you can see, while STEM has been trading water over the last month or so, ADX has remained positive, so the chart looks really good. It's just looking for an excuse to run, and when this one goes, we're going to see, in my opinion, the same kind of move that we saw earlier. It's just going to go straight up. First target, $2 on this one. We entered a small little scalp position in this one today at $1.65. Would play stops at this at $1.60, but this one could go tomorrow, so let's keep a pretty close eye on it. ZHNE, we got a nice spike on this one last week. We exited ahead of the earnings report. Earnings came out. We're actually pretty decent. Company said backflow or back orders are starting to, they're starting to get some nice orders and get some visibility. Key here, we're about to get a golden cross on zone ZHNE. That's when the 50-day crosses up through the 200-day moving average. And typically when we see this on the daily chart on stocks, we see an explosive move to the upside over the coming weeks. So as such, time to start nibbling in ZHNE again. XOMA, we got in this one, trading alert a couple of days ago. Very nice action on this one. Big volume over the last couple of days. We got a breakout on RSI. We broke the downtrend. Stochastics in a nice uptrend. Check out the unbalanced volume. They've just been pouring into this stock, and it looks ready for a big move here in the near term. Target move to the 65 to 70 cents here with stops. Would play stops now at 45 cents, to be honest. Looks really, really good. The volume here suggests a big move is at hand. DDD. This is our bird flu gem. They've got a partnership with BCRX. This candle today is pretty BS. Stock didn't see the 60s. The highest it saw was 58 cents. This is another one of those market maker sweeps where the crooks get to go in, trade shares between themselves at high prices, and not fill you even if you've got an order up there. And it still stands as a legitimate print for the day. You know, just more BS rule changes that came into effect when Bush had his cronies running the SEC. Ridiculous. Anyway, walk down, low volume today, retested the breakout of 50 cents or that 50-day moving average, and then into the close as the bird flu stocks were popping. This one bounced back. This is typical action in a highly momentum area. We saw it before with the bird flu and SARS. These stocks break out, retrace, break out again, retrace. This is just the first retrace. Still looking for a move on the 200-day moving average on this stock. GMBT, another one. We entered a gapper play on this one at 49 cents before the close. News flow is going to keep going here, and these stocks are going to give lots of trading opportunity. Just because we got a big pop doesn't mean we walk away and abandon them. You know, we took our fat gains, and now we play with our little small positions on them. APPY, we mentioned this one last week. This one is coiling for a big move. We've entered this stock each time before it went on a 30% move, and this one is just coiling. It looked like it was going to go today, but then right into the close it got slapped down. Stochastics nicely oversold and looking just like it did before the last big 30% move in the stock. So would look to accumulate this one anywhere in the 165 area and under, and first target is a move to $2 here. Last but not least, we've got GTCB. Stock continues to coil for a move. We've got a very solid base here at the 30 to 32 cent area. In next move over the 200-day moving average at 39 cents should set this one free. And this kind of setup usually sees a very explosive upside move. Remember, the reason we first entered DVAX a couple of weeks ago was a setup like this, and GTCB just keeps flashing a buy signal here, and RSI is ready to break 50. Stochastics in the basement, ADX is positive. This one really could go 50% in a blink. It just needs an excuse, and the chart says some sort of excuse for a run is coming. That's it for the video update tonight. Let's see what the GDP report tomorrow does and what the new insight the Fed gives us. Those will be our two market moving events tomorrow. See you guys in the chat room tomorrow. Good night.